welcome everybody to our second attempt at Captain of Industry. So I don't know if we're going to count this as, well, I guess it would probably count to season 2 of Captain of Industry because we did fail our first season and now we're on to this season. And you might be wondering, okay, well, what's going to be happening with Cardio Simulator? Well, if you were on the last episode of Workers and Resources, I kind of briefly explained it. So what's going to happen is Cardio Simulator is going to be moving to Saturdays, and then Captain of Industry is going to be taking on that seat of being in the Monday, Wednesday slot. So Cardio Simulator is still going to be there. It's just not going to be there as much. So without further ado, there was some things that last time when we played the game, we did. And I want to make sure that we're not hitting the same problem we hit last time. So I am going to be looking to change kind of the approach that we're taking in the game. And this time we're going to be going, so we're still going to be on New Haven. We're going to go on easy difficulty. Because easy difficulty, where the last time we played, like, iron was up here, water was here, crude oil. But last time we played in medium difficulty, we were a lot further away from like anything, which I think was kind of hindering us. So we're going to be starting a little bit closer to a lot more resources. Don't have to travel so far. So that's why it makes it easier difficulty, which is fine, which is good. I think we need easy difficulty. We're still going to be on Captain, mechanics. We're not going to go casual. We're not going to do resource. We're going to realism plus, same stuff we did last time. And we're also going to do ore sorting. I just think it adds that little extra flair and the challenge to it without having to do the challenge mode of reduced world mines. I just want to do realism. I like realism because Workers and Resources, we did realism. So then we'll just name our game Brave YouTube. Just gonna name it the same thing what we would normally name it as. So this is gonna be Brave YouTube. If anyone wants to follow along with my game seed, effects randomization used in places like weather generation or world map layout does not affect map generation. If you want to follow along, that's the game seed. Other than that, it's gonna be pretty much the same as last run through, but this time we're not going to lose in a span of 3 seconds. So yeah, game selection. So let's just go back through this. So game selection, starting on easy, captain difficulty, realism plus, ore sorting. Next, this is the game seed. If anyone wants to follow along, let's get into the episode. Okay, I'm thinking for this series, we might look to do just a little bit different of kind of maybe a recording style. So I still want to say like everything that I'm doing, what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. But if there's any time there was like a downside or me having to kind of figure something out or do some reading up on something, I'm going to put a cut. I don't want to have it where I'm doing something where nobody maybe really cares to take a listen to what I'm doing. They just want to move on and see the next piece of the pie in the game. So we're going to try to test out that recording style, see if that's something that maybe is going to be a little bit better, but I'll still give you my thought process and everything like that. So one of the tips in the comment section in my recent series was we should follow along these goals. The goals are going to kind of lead us in the direction of the game that is going to benefit us. And if you hear some clicking and clacking in the background, wife is currently out of the house, so I am watching the little pupper dog. It's an American bully, if anybody's curious. If you have a pet or a type of animal that you were fond of, leave it in the comments below. I'm really curious to see what type of pets you guys have. I got an American bully. Name is Belly Button. Very cute puppy dog. Well, not puppy dog no more. Get a little bit older, but cute nonetheless. So if you hear any clicking and clacking, that's the dog in the background. So it was made mention that we should just follow along on these goals. So the goal is iron production, which is build a coal maker and connect it to smokestacks, assign trucks to the tree harvesters and start harvesting trees, build blast furnace, 1 of 2 connected to metal caster, and smokestack. So this is just to make some iron. And then this is also food production, build farm on fertile ground, grass, 1 of 0. So what I'm thinking that we should do, we do want to make sure that, so over here is our iron. Or sorry, not iron. This is our water deposit. This is our crude oil, which we're going to want to have crude oil really early on because we're going to want to have a good stock reservoir of just diesel. And we're going to have to make some type of diesel storage a little bit off from where the pumps are, even over here. So a good kind of first starting step, not to encroach on any of that, but we want to harvest these trees here. which is going to send this guy to go harvest. So we want to send two trucks to join him. So they're going to go off and going to go do that, which is great, wonderful, awesome. So we're going to have trucks going off and doing that. This does give you a grid layout, which is really cool, awesome to see. And I believe, actually, if you do this, it gives you the grid layout as well. So building farm on fertile ground. So we do want to make sure that we can leave a bit of a road path going through so that we're not cutting anything off. So when we do get the availability to put down some roads, we will have that option to send some roads through, and we're not in a position where we can't do that. But we also don't want to cut off this. So what I'm thinking is if we built a farm up in here, we still get the availability to run a road down and to the left and back in. So I'm thinking to build a farm on fertile grass, if we built a farm, if I built it, say, this way, this would then allow me to build storage on this side too. So I'm just trying to kind of think of the best way to put it. We could also put it here, which would then give me availability to run my road just kind of straight up. So I could put it here, which I'm thinking this might be a better location for it anyways, because this is going to get out of the way soon, and then we can run my road straight up this one, and this is out of the way, and then we can have our oil and everything kind of processing over there. So I'm thinking here's going to be a good location. They're going to bring over the resources for it. Now, these trucks are going to get full, and they're going to have nowhere to put anything that they currently cut. They're just going to be fully loaded, just sitting here. So what we're going to need to do for them is we're going to need to, if I can remember where it is, where are the storage? Do we not have, hold on one sec. Do we not have any storage research? Let's, I guess let's take a look in research. Oh, research is, okay, currently iron, farm, diesel generator, smokestacks, research lab, waste collector, piping, terraforming, forestry. Okay, so we don't actually have any storage facilities researched. So I guess let's get down our research building first. I'm going to build my research over here. And with the research going down, we are going to need to get a diesel generator so that we can keep everything processing well. And I think what we're going to do, because our crude oil is over here, so if I put the generator range is not dictated by where the generators go at all. It's just so I think it's T. No, it's not T to flip. I think it's F to flip. Workers and resources is T to flip. F to flip. Okay, I hit the. I just mashed the buttons. So I think we're gonna do something like this, because we also need to hook up to here, because these also can store oil for us right off the docks. And we're also going to need to be able to repair, because this is an in node and that's an in node. So then we can actually, I believe, if we have pipe, we can just drop pipe like that, and then they can build whatever they need to be built. Okay, so we're gonna start the process. So right now we don't have anywhere to store this wood, so I'm thinking that is why it's telling us to make a coal burner, because when we get this resource, it just wants us to burn it right away. Eventually, when we get some more researching in, we can then actually store the wood. We don't just need to kind of burn it immediately. And we get a little bit more cool stuff. So coal maker is going to take wood, used coal, and then it's going to turn it into some dust. Well, not dust, smog. So that smog, you're just going to need to get a way to get kicked out. That's not going to hinder and or affect our citizens. So we want to kind of keep it a little bit away from what we're building over there, but we don't have to go super overkill where all of these guys are traveling super far. So what I'm thinking is we'll probably do 1, 2. We're going to do 2 coal makers just out over here, because I think we'll start putting some storages down kind of on these sectors here. And then we can expand up in this direction. And what I noticed last time too when I was playing is you don't want to run out of this, whatever this is. This is service, maintenance 1. Do not run out of maintenance 1. If you run out of maintenance 1, just consider your whole playthrough completely over before it even starts, because if you run out of it, you aren't going to be able to go too far. So we need a little bit of that. And now the only thing, these, because you need the furnace stacks, you can set a 1. Actually, you can't because it's in the way. So normally, if you had, say, conveyor belts, because this is making coal and this is molten channel, this pipe can push out typical stuff. But currently right now, there's no way to conveyor belt this. So doing, say, a metal caster or a blast furnace, the trucks are going to need to take any of this coal that it makes, and it's going to have to do it itself to make a blast furnace. But currently we don't even have any iron picked up, but it does take from this abandoned communication station. It'll take the iron scraps, and those iron scraps will then get used to get put into the blast furnace, and then the blast furnace will make some molten iron. Casters will then make iron. So this is just saying coal, produce coal 5 out of 8, blast furnaces, stuff like that, so that you are making you're making enough. So currently we only have 1 tree harvester. It would be nice if we could have 2 more, just so that we can get some stuff pumping. We also want to make sure that we're pumping out a lot of trucks and stuff like that, and we want to get some research underway. So we currently have this done. Construction would be good to get, and waste management. So trading dock, maintenance, vehicles, and mining. So if we do construction level 1, 2 maintenance, 2 vehicles, and then we can kind of figure out if we want to go basic diesel, which we should probably get to basic diesel relatively quickly, and trading docks. So I think what we're going to do is 1, we're going to start the research on 1, we'll get maintenance, and then we'll get mining, and then we're going to go to storage, and then basic diesel. So that's going to be kind of the progression that these guys are going to do. Looks like they're going to get it there pretty quickly. It's not going to be a long delay for us to have that, which is great, because we don't want to have a long delay. Now, this currently has no way of having conveyor belts to put anything out to it, so we can just do this, because our trucks are going to have to need to bounce back and forth anyways to hooking up whatever it is that they want to hook up. So we don't need to really worry, I guess, much about having these perfectly, because we're gonna have to redesign everything anyways. But as long as we have a consistent supply of stuff coming in, we're going to be okay. Because right now you can see we're eating 4 potatoes, we're producing no potatoes, so we're losing potatoes at a rapid rate. Right now we're making coal, and then eventually we're going to be losing coal. So we need to watch the supply and demand of our basic resources. If we're making basic resources faster than we're making, than we're expending them to get refined ingredients, we should be at an okay pace. So this guy just does the 2. He's going to keep chopping away at some trees. We're looking at the research here. So we're at 3, 4, and so is that 4.5? I don't know how that makes sense, but they're going to keep working on that stuff there. They're going to get up and running. So build blast furnace, 1 of 1, and connect it to a metal caster and a smokestack. So what is this? So this makes coal. This then needs coal and iron scraps to make the sludge. So we need to set up a smokestack, and we also need to set up, it says connected to a metal caster. So build blast furnace 1, done. We have 2. We have 1 blast furnace. We have the coal maker. So we can collect the work for that. We're not going to collect it right away. So build blast furnace and connect it to a metal caster. 0 of 2 and smokestack. So now we need to do metal caster. And it wants us to do 2 of them. Oh. Now the metal caster, I guess it got an upgrade, because before it was not on the back. it was actually in a different location. So I think the out's on this side and to the left. So we're going to do... We'll do 2 away, and then we'll flip this guy. And we'll do it there as well. So that's the 2 that we need for the smoke, for the metal casters. And then we just need to get a molten channel. Hook this guy up there. And then hook that guy up there. So that's going to be the 2 molten channels that we need. So we can start making iron. And then this guy should be consistently getting full. And this guy is waiting for products. So it looks like for the coal, it's about a 2-to-1 ratio. So if we had another tree cutter, this one would be getting put into use, and it's a 1-to-2 for this. So it's a 1-to-1 to, it's a 1-to-1 to 1-to-2. I think that's how the ratio thing kind of is going to be working out. So with food production done, we get rewards. We get about 40 potatoes and 20 construction material, I believe. So we finished that one out. That one's good. Now we have 78 months of food remaining, which we can kind of see here on the chart here. Total production. I guess because we can't see it right now because it's been so recent. But we do have a total production now because we are actually making a surplus, which you can see here, 45, and we're only consuming 4. So we're constantly on an up and up, which is definitely what we want to see. So now we are looking like we're making, so iron production is done. We get 50 diesel, 50 building parts, and then 30, I don't know what those are, gears, not gears. I think they're mechanical parts. And then also we need to be aware that they're going to be producing a bunch of waste. So what we're going to want to do, and I need to kind of figure out again, how we do the dumping, because so a dumping area, we're going to want to designate, what we can do is we can designate this as a dumping area. So we're going to want to have something along the lines of, I want to go flat and then do something along the lines of this. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna make a dumping location, but then we also need to go to our vehicles here. We have a stable amount of vehicles. What can be dumped by trucks? So looks like waste can be dumped by trucks, which is good. So now if they ever have waste they don't need, when they pick it up from here, then they can just dump it out. But we still need to actually place down the waste collector depot, so then they can actually grab the waste out of the city, or I guess this little village hut town thing, and then take it out and dump it here. So this will kind of collect the trash and then allow them to grab it and dump it wherever they would need to have it dumped. So have a designated dump zone for waste, and then build a waste collection attached to the settlement. So we're going to be getting that done, PDQ, and that is going to level up our production. So this is now one of the most crucial global resources, which really just says it right there, which I probably should have read this the first time I played the game. It's pretty crucial. You want to make sure that you do not lose. Mechanics level 1. This is the bread and butter and the bear. It's the backbone. It really is. It's just the backbone of the industry. If this goes down, you're completely hooped, and you're gonna have to restart your gameplay, just like I had to, because I wasn't making sure that I had the proper things I needed to. So we can collect our reward here. It's going to give me 80 cinder blocks and 50 building supplies, which is great and wonderful. Now we're going to be unlocking, I believe they're working on trading. No, they're doing vehicles and mining, then trading docks, and then I'll get rid of this one. So now what they want us to do, start power production by building a diesel generator, which would have had to been done anyways if we wanted to get the research factory up and running, which you kind of could see before. And then so build research lab 1, basic, done, boom. Research construction done, and then build an assembler level 1. So what we're going to look to do here, Maintenance depot, basic. We want to make sure that we're going to be supplying this bad boy with everything it's going to need to make sure that our trucks can stay on the road and we don't have any problems with servicing our vehicles, so that we can constantly have maintenance one. So currently it looks as though we don't have any maintenance parts. So if we ever have anything go down, we're not going to be making anything. So we got to get this thing up and running so we can start making some maintenance tool kits, I guess. You could probably just call them tool kits. But that needs to get up and running. And then we need to take a look at, it needs, what does it require? So it requires mechanical parts and electronics to make maintenance 1, which is this currently just waiting for products. Then I'll start making what we want is we want to make sure maintenance, mechanical parts, and electronics, we're making them, and then we're also storing them here so that we never have a potential risk of running out. If we don't have the risk of running out, we're going to survive. But if we run out, then we're completely and utterly ruined. So I'm going to get my wood cutter. Not that. That's a dumping site. This is wood cutting. Going to get my wood cutter to start chopping the wood over there because I want to get that cleared out and open up space for starting to build water stuff here. And I'm just going to be pulling water around to more than just one location. Even if I have to run like pipe really, really long and do some ramps over stuff, that's totally fine. I don't have to be super worried about pipes running everywhere. I mean, we are the captain of industry, people. We can run pipes wherever we want, and we're just going to have to tell the cars to go over it. That's just the way it's going to have to be. Okay, so if we want to get what looks like mechanical parts, we just need iron. And then to do electronics, we need copper and rubber. Yes. So what we're going to do, because a lot of our assembling looks to be over in this area, and then we're just going to have to drive over here and drop it off. We will, because we want storage here. So if we just put up a, I guess, temporary one. So we're just going to do a 1-to-1 ratio and see if that's going to be enough. So this one is going to be mechanical parts. This one is going to be electronical parts. That is going to be producing enough for over here, which these guys do come over here when they need to be refueled or repaired. Because currently this is the only depot that they can be refueled from, because we don't have any gas stations, but that isn't unlockable. I mean, just look at this. That's not it. Just look at this tree. Like, I got 4 episodes deep here, people. I got 4 episodes in and failed. I didn't even like ship engine 3, guns, like what's, you know, asteroid boosters, space probes. I mean, we didn't even crude stations, basic computing, housing 5, offices, silicone, gold smelting. I didn't even get out of the blue. I was all the way back here. I didn't even get out of this. This is where I stopped. This is where I got to. So there is quite a lot to do in this game, and I'm excited that we're jumping back into another episode, another, I guess, series of the game, because it is an excellent game, something that is wonderful. So with them building these parts now, so they're going to be making the mechanical parts, which is good. What I wanted to take a look at, and I was just in the tree, wasn't I? So this is good. That's good. Don't care about that no more. Those are alerts. Select recipe to produce construction parts. So we'll make one more, and this guy will just be construction parts. It's another place to get wood, and I think maybe actually what we'll do is we're gonna build 2 of them. 2 of them to make that, and I think that's gonna be fine because it's gonna be pumping out enough construction parts that we want, and then that's just going to be using our cinder blocks. So it's going to be making construction parts, so we're never going to run out. It's going to be a doubled up, so I can even change it if I need to down the road. It's not going to be stuck there forever. And then that is going to be making more mechanical parts and electronics, so we can stay up to date with making sure that we're not consuming more than we're making. That is the That is the name of the game. So right now we're producing more than we're using because we're not using it by the looks of it any. So last month's change plus 220. So we're currently on the up and up, but that can sneak up on you and change in a heartbeat. So we want to make sure that that's not sneaking up on us and that's not changing in a heartbeat so that we can survive as long as physically possible in this unforgiving world. So I'm going to clear all those messages and we need that one here. So we're currently unlocking trading docks, which is good. And then we're going to be unlocking basic diesel, which is good because we're going to need that to let us make what we need to make for getting more diesel. But I'm trying to find... So that's the trading docks, good. Basic diesel, that gives us storage for liquids. And then what I'm trying to look at and what I'm trying to find is where do I get storages? Because that's silicone. Silicone, that's rubber. Come on, Brave, that is rubber, not silicone. So I must just be blind. Am I just missing something here? Oh, trading docks have the unit storage. I am just blind. Produce for construction. Okay, so maintenance level 4 gives me a bunch of resources needed for electronics and building supplies. This gives me wood and gears and building supplies, which is great. So then now what I want to do, because I was just totally oblivious and blind, I'm going to want to set up this and that. So then once I get conveyors, I can actually, I think actually, was that not enough space? No, this is so, this one will go in there like this. This one will feed in there like that. That'll supply the two that I need. And these can stay full of electronics. And then this one will be mechanical parts. And that's going to be the two that I need. So they'll bring anything over, like these mechanical parts and the electronics. They'll bring them over here and they'll plop them in. Currently, we're making electronicals faster, I think. So if we wanted to look at that to see our production over our consumption, we can take a look at, say, electronics. So we're currently using 20, but that was at a peak. It looks like we're coming down. And we're only making 4. And then if we take a look at mechanical parts, we're using 12, consuming, and only making about 8. These can produce what looks to be every 60 seconds, they'll make 4. So every 40 seconds, it'll make 4. And then this will do every 60 seconds, it'll make 4. So they're about the same speed, but if this starts to get full and this one gets full, we're making enough. I mean, if you have your storage is getting full, you're probably making enough parts that you don't really have to worry about it, but you can take a look here. So like this one. We're making 40 and we're consuming 18, but we're constantly at an up and down because we don't have a steady supply of resources yet that are just kind of sitting there and accumulating. We're pretty low on a lot of stuff. So now what we can do, because we have these storages, is we can actually do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then what we can do is we can assign these into wood. So that always and forever, if my guys are cutting wood, they'll never run out of space to put the wood. And we don't have to run into a problem where wood is kind of scarce to come by. So that is good. Here now, we can put also a loose storage in for potatoes. So we could just do this, just kind of connect it up straight away and then demolish it later, which is what I'm going to do. And then potatoes. So this gives just an extra another 200. So now we're going to have 600 potatoes. Apologies. But we do have It's going to give us 600 potatoes. We do have 92 months of resources left for food, and our health is low, but that's okay. We'll get it up here over the course of a smaller amount. So the next step is research trading docks. Boom, done. We need a trading dock. So the trading dock, what it's going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you to kind of utilize the... we don't want it too far away, but we also don't want it too close to this guy, because it's going to be, like you can see here, I think these are, so this is like the shipping path, I'm pretty sure. We're going to want to have it, I think what we're going to want to have to do is we're going to want to have it, I think right here would be a good location, because it's kind of going to be where our storage is going to be. So anytime we trade something, it can just get stored here. And then we can bring it off to wherever it's going to need to be placed. So I do forget where I left off. But we got the trading dock down. That was crucial to what we needed. So air pollution. These aren't making any air pollution currently. Because are they even working? Yes, they're working. And then this guy's making some air pollution. And then they're making iron. And this is using iron, and using iron. So if we take a look here, we're producing 24, but we're using 17. So we're still making more than we're using, which is good. But we got to keep an eye on that. We don't want to end up having less production than what we need. Yes. So they're going to keep trying to bring over more and more wood. We're currently just not going to have a good surplus. But we only got one tree harvester. None of them are idle, and also we don't have many vehicles in the queue. So I'm wondering if, and this is where it's going to get, I'm thinking, just a little bit more dicey. So if we wanted to put down, say, a vehicle assembly bay, which we can, 100%. It's going to pump out vehicles for us that we decide to order up. My only concern is how much of it is actually going to take away from our seeded amount of resources. Again, we don't want to run out. So if I built that there, I mean, this is kind of in between everything. I think that's a good location for it. And then if there's any add-ons to it or whatever, we can put add-ons on it. So we're going to queue up a tree harvester. We're going to queue up 2 trucks. We're going to try to get them built as fast as possible. And we're also going to queue up 2 more trucks just to increase our capacity. So we're not sitting without enough capacity to build what we need to build. So trees seem to be a problem. We're not harvesting enough trees fast enough. So I'm hoping that getting 1 more tree harvester will help us harvest trees a little bit quicker. And we're not going to have to worry about any tree harvesting problems in our near future. Hopefully the tree harvesters can harvest fast enough. Another thing about this original start that we did in the last series, it took forever to get growing anything because you're just constantly being bombarded with trees. They're just constantly in your way. Wasn't a really good way to get through. So this also wants us to do an excavator and 2 new pickups. So we're gonna excavator, 2 new pickups. We're doing a lot of production here, but I think another thing that really hindered me last season was we didn't get production up and running fast enough. These are also going to build a mining control tower near iron deposit, assign small excavator pickups and set it to mine. So this is our iron deposit up here. I did mess around with the mining last season. Not a whole lot, but we'll figure it out, I'm sure. Eventually, we're going to want to keep those empty. We're going to keep this empty. But for right now, next thing is saying purchase concrete slabs for iron from the village on the world map. So purchase concrete slabs for iron. So we want concrete slabs for our iron. So I'm wondering are you guys concrete slabs for our iron? And it wants us to purchase 20. Okay. So this is 20. I think that's it, right? Yeah, just 20. Okay. So with the availability for us to be able to sell our iron and get a concrete resource, which is a resource that I currently, it's going to take me a little bit of time to actually make that resource. Being able to sell, like being able to take iron, which it looks like we have a good amount, sort it, and then just smash it into these blast furnace, can't say that. Throw it into there, and then throw it into the metal casters. We should be able to get about, it looks like one of these can keep 4 active, and I think that's why it has a plugin for another 2, because it can push out in 60 seconds. Looks like 20 molten. Is that 20? Let's just see. So it's currently at 1. I think it can push out 8. Yeah, so it's 8. So this can take in every 60 seconds. It can take in 8. This one takes in 8 every 60 seconds. And this one punches out, I believe it's 16. No, it does 8. So it does 16 in 60 seconds. This demand every 40 seconds is 8. And every 20 seconds it can do 8. So 20 times 2. Yeah, so that I think that math is mathing. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. If the math ain't mathing, I'll believe you, and then we can kind of go from there. So we currently have 2 harvesters, one of which does not have trucks assigned, so we'll assign him for 2 trucks, and then hopefully that means that we are pumping out trucks a little bit quicker, so we can get back up to that bigger threshold that we're looking for. So trading's done, so we can collect that. Didn't even look at what I got for it. Just got it. That's all we wanted. We just wanted something. Okay, and then enable iron recipe that uses iron ore in blast furnace. So we need to get our mining up and operational. So the mining control towers, I'm sure most people understand and know how they work. They don't have to be next to where you're doing it. They just have to be somewhere so that you can assign it and it can get controlled and make what you want to have made, I guess, is kind of the idea of it. So I don't know if I want to put it over here or if I do want to put it a little bit closer to what is being mined, but I think I will station it over here. Enables assign of excavator trucks to designated mine areas. Only designated mining areas within the influence of the tower can be mined. But I think the influence of the tower is wherever the heck you want to put it, Mr. Bossman. So we could even do it on the backside here. We could do the mining tower here, or even do it over here, or on the backside of this generator. I think I'm just going to do that. I'm going to keep it a little bit closer to the ship. Oh, which another thing we have to do is we have to repair the ship, but we can't do that until we get the proper research unlocked, which we do have more availability to do more. So next one was to do beacon. So we'll do that, and then we'll do that one, which is the ship dock repair. So we can actually send our ship off to do some work instead of it just sitting there doing nothing. And then we probably want to do some basic concrete as well. So we can get some concrete, and then we'll do that one and this one. So this one allows you to upgrade certain parts, which is good, because if you play something, you can click it and upgrade. I believe that's how it works. I didn't really get to see how it worked last season, just because we ended up finishing so quickly. But no, I think that is how it works. So if we're doing a mine, say over here, I want to check to see, so all of the iron ore is on this mountainside, and then on the back side of it, so this is all just rock to get to the iron. So this is where the juicy iron is. So if we put our iron sorter, I guess just our ore sorter, if we put him, say, because I'm trying to think about this strategically here, right? So if we put him down here, we could then mine into this and then just kick it out here, and then hopefully once we get some, what do you call them? I'm going to look up in the research tab because I know what they're called in the research tab. Conveyor belts. That is the name. I mean, granted, yes, they're very far away, and we should probably get construction to, figure it out before we just branch off into conveyor belts and fuel depots and underground pumps and all this fun stuff. We should probably get all this stuff, set up first before we just, make a beeline rush for it. So yeah, we should look to get that done. I am going to want to build our next housing here, so it's good that these guys are tearing that down because it's going to give me more space to build where I want to be building, which is here. I could also build off here. Actually, maybe, you know what, that might be a better idea anyways. So if I do housing, train's too high, so I have to build it here. I just currently don't have the room, so once those trees are gone, I will place it there. This is going to be all the way out here. So if I set my control tower, so if I edit the area, let's just drag it over here. I'm just going to want him to be mining somewhere in this area. I'm going to kind of make it a little bit smaller, just so it fits in my area that I'm hoping to mine to begin with. So somewhere in there. And then if I go to mining designation, so what I can do, if I flatten this out, I should be able to, if I keep this level, I mean, maybe what I should do is build a bit of a ramp so I can actually get up. But I wouldn't have to do it for a while. I could even do it over here. So yeah, so what I'm going to do, we're going to do something like this. We're going to rotate this around. We're going to keep this down. And what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to kind of chew into the side of the mountain here. If I do something like this, and then actually maybe we should go, should we go down? Yeah, you know what, screw it, let's go down. Let's go down by 4 and 4, and then I'm wondering if, can I flatten you? And then can I do... No. Okay, so once this is out, maybe then I can actually flatten it, because this is going to be on the ground. So I'm going to do something like that. That's going to get my ore going. Now we're building the excavator, and then we're going to be building more of the trucks. I'm going to get 2 more in the queue just because I want to build them as fast as I can. These are pretty stable. Now, we don't want to run out of different... what am I going for here? What am I looking at here? So I want to do a catway of 3. I'm going to do 2. This is going to be construction parts. I'll leave the rest open. And then here for assembler, I'm going to want to do, select my recipe. I'm going to want to do these. So it's going to take mechanical parts and electronics to make vehicle parts. Just because I don't want to run out. So if I do that, then I'll be actually making all of the different parts that I need. And I don't have to worry about running out of anything. So the only problem is they're going to have to kind of, well, if I, hold on. If I cancel production over there, if I build an assembler here, I mean, just a temporary assembler. It's not going to be permanent. I just want to make sure that I'm building vehicle parts and I'm not running out. So they'll bring them all over here, and then they'll just kind of throw them into here. They'll make vehicle parts. I'm not going to make a storage for it because I know if I make a storage for it, I'm not going to be producing the right amount that I need. Okay, so now this right here, we're currently producing only 24, but we're using far more plates than we're producing. So that's on the downcline. That's on the decline. As well as our construction, but construction is not a necessity. If you run out, it's not going to kill you. I mean, not having enough rubber is going to kill you. Not having enough vehicle components is going to kill you. Like, we only have 100 left. We want to be making more of that. We also want to be making more of cinder blocks. We do have cinder blocks kind of sitting there. So maybe what we could do is we could get cinder blocks. That could be a cinder block storage, so they just keep pulling out all of that cinder block, which would be good. So we currently don't have enough workers to actually do any working for us. So you do have to juggle your housing so that you do have enough workers doing things you need to do. And you also want to watch your Unity. Something that I haven't talked about is the Unity, which we'll talk about that in another episode of Captain of Industry, because that's just another whole big ball of fun in itself. So I'm going to assign this excavator there. I'll assign 2 vehicles to it as well, and then hopefully these vehicles can get out. So now he is going to go all the way over here, and if I don't have anything assigned, he is not going to do, like, if I don't have a gas station out there, or like anywhere where you can refuel, he's going to have to come over here. So we might want to set up some type of refueling department for these vehicles, but let's get dirt that can go in here, or iron ore that can go in here. And the only thing I'm thinking might get is rock, but we will have to also process the slag, but the slag can be used as a byproduct, so you don't just want to dump it out randomly and not use it. So now we want to get a beacon, because a beacon is going to allow us to get more residents to help continue to grow what we want to have grown. I mean, is that even the proper wordage? To groweth, what if the wanted to grow? I don't know. We need to grow. We need to have a beacon so we can grow some stuff, and then build housing attached to existing settlement, 2 out of 3. So we're currently going to be building that. This needs to get underway, which they're busy. Busy's fine. Anything that's kind of like burning red, that's when you want to be a little bit cautious. But busy's fine. Busy's not going to be where they're running out of things to do, or they're overwhelmed with things to do. It's just going to be busy. Busy's busy. Busy's good. Stables, not great. And then burning on fire, whatever that. I can't remember what that one looks like, because I'm trying not to have that happen to me this time around. That's also not a good one to have. Burning on fire is not great. Okay, so housing's done. We have room for 240 people, which is great. Just need to actually finalize getting more people. So we are going to want to probably get another excavator eventually. So I'll kind of cue it at the backside there, minus the dog barking. But we're going to want to be getting another excavator out here so we can actually utilize both these trucks. Because one of the trucks goes, the other one's going to be here, so we can just keep going. A 1-to-2 ratio is a great ratio to have. So ore mining, so we're going to get more electronics, more building parts, and more vehicle parts, which is good because we kind of need that, because we're kind of on the down low here. A lot of our resources are on the decline. So we want to make sure that we're monitoring those levels and we're keeping them up. Got to get my workers up here. Got to get some excavators pumped out. Got to get my iron deposits up. Because we also want to have a steady supply of coal storage. We also don't want to run out of coal. How is my wood? So I do have a fair bit stored of wood. This is making coal. So I am consuming 6 and I'm making 5, which is not a great ratio. I do want to be making more coal than I am using. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to get one more coal maker up and operational, just so that I have it. Can I? Oh, you can flip the inputs and outputs. So I'm going to flip that there, and then I'm going to get a smokestack, and that is going to help me make at least a little bit more coal, so I'm not right on the bottom. No, active progress gets reset if the beacon gets interrupted. No workers. So this currently has no workers wanting to come in. If we say fast forward a little bit and close it off. Oh, do we not have it open to actually accepting workers? Wait for first refugees to arrive. Okay, I guess we just have to wait for our first refugees to arrive. I'm not sure how long we're gonna have to wait. Build unit storage and assign it to iron. Okay. So I guess this doesn't count as a unit storage. So loose storage. If we did, because this is gonna sort it, then we're gonna want to pump it out here because we're gonna have it so that it stores here, and then we can make iron here. So let's do 1, We could do 2, because we're not going to need to grab it. So we do 1, 2, and then that's just going to kind of move them. So it gives us, like, in a sense, 400 without having to, like, move anything, which I think is great. So we'll do iron and iron. And then once we get more workers, they'll be able to sort that. Okay, 14 refugees arriving in less than 3 months. That'll get me past that threshold, and I won't be sitting at a deficit, which is good. Being at a deficit's never a fun time. So we're going to keep mining trees. We're going to get another excavator. I'm going to do one more truck. It's going to bring me to 21, which is what I want to see. So to have just enough trucks to last me. New replacement task. I don't know what that does. If you don't know what it does, don't touch it, Brave. Just leave it alone. So yeah, once you get more refugees in here, that's going to kind of set off this problem. So they're going to come in. So enable iron recipe that uses iron ore in the blast furnace. Build a iron storage and assign it. Oh. Okay, so this actually wasn't needing to be built. So I can do something like that. That doesn't need to be like that. That was wrong. So I'm only going to get like a percentage of this stuff back, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's not a huge problem. So then this is what needs to be iron storage, which is kind of far away. So they're going to have to travel from where we're producing our iron, because we're going to want to do kind of a big smelting system over here, and then they can bring it down over here. So I might actually, I'm going to do 2 for iron, because this uses iron, which is fine. This uses not iron, this uses iron, this uses iron, and then this one uses none of the 2. So we're going to need to get copper and rubber, because I'm sure our rubber is, yes, it's dwindling. But can I trade with villagers to get rubber? Available for borrowing. So the ship actually needs to go visit there. So that needs 100. This is producing 6 and 6. But we're going to need some more rubber. We only have 53 left. At the rate we're consuming it, it's not going to be good. What does it take for us to maybe make our own rubber? So synthetic rubber is going to take a rubber maker, which is diesel, coal, and then byproduct. So we could actually do that. Let's add this to the queue. We're going to get basic concrete, tooling, and then that. But what we should also do here as well, because if I have another one of these, it should, in theory, it should speed up how fast we can pump out, say, another, more research quickly, please. I wish that would line up. I really wish. But beggars, you know what they say, beggars can be choosers, can't be choosers. Can be? No, they can't. Does it fit on this side? No. Why would it? So maybe why would it work? So maybe we'll just do that. Yeah, we'll build that there. That's going to give me at least faster research, you would hope. So that's going to give me wood. It's going to give me electronic components. Great. This is going to give me potatoes and pistons. I'm going to call them pistons. They're vehicle parts, but we're going to call them pistons. We only have 22 construction parts, so we might want to ramp up that production as well. But we want to make sure that we're not going to run out of rubber, and then we're also not going to run out of concrete. So maybe that means that we should also look in this episode to begin the process of building our diesel industry. So we got 14 more refugees coming in 3 months. Yeah, okay. So yeah, this should allow us to research things quicker, because now we're doubling down, which is what we want to see. And then if we get some paving blocks and stuff, we can actually make this look better, which is great. Love that. Okay, so this guy needs to be assigned there as well. And then I think I'm just going to leave 2 and 2 over there. And we're going to be getting to a point where we have quite a lot. So I'm just going to quick remove that. I'm going to just get that dismantled. That's fine. And then over here is where we'll have our oil. So if we're doing some basic distiller, because, you know, we're okay on gas, but we're consuming gas and we're not making any, which we should probably be making some of our own gas. We're also going to need to make some of our own synthetic. So what we're going to want to probably do is we're going to probably want to store the oil in its own storage bins. The storage of the oil, we're then going to want to have it then pumping to different locations. So let's say if this is going to take a bunch of construction parts. So if we did, say 1, flip this one, that one connects, and then 2, and then let's just do it, flip it, 1, flip, 2. So that's going to be 4. That's going to allow me to get some crude oil out of there. Then we're going to want to have it get stored somewhere. So I'm thinking if we get it to be stored somewhere back, if we're going to do our distilling, say our distillery, so we're going to need to pump it. We're going to need to pump a bunch of liquid out. So if we did something there, and then maybe a distiller. So this is going to need coal and distillery. We're now making a surplus of coal, which is good. We still have a surplus of wood. So a lot of our stuff is on a surplus, except for construction parts. We're constantly at a deficit. So enable iron research that uses iron ore. Yes. So let's tell this guy to set recipe to use iron ore. Stop using the iron scraps. And let's start using iron ore. So you're going to have to bring it from all the way over there to all the way over here. But I think that's okay because we have a stable workflow. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 4 more vehicles. Bring them over here. That should produce that quicker. And I don't think we're running low. Yeah, we're not running low on the cinder blocks. I don't think that's our bottleneck. But doesn't matter because now we can make our own cinder blocks. And I think probably, I'm going to guess just a tier 1 is going to be just fine. Just one of them should be enough to handle our demand. If not, we can make more, but I think 8 slabs is going to be fine because we're only really producing 16. And it makes 12 in 60 seconds. So I think that's going to be a-okay. So what we're going to need first is a water retriever. We want to make sure that we're not in the way there. But we're also not in the way over here. This is rather big piece of equipment. And we also want to make sure that we're not... So there's really nothing going on over here. So if I put this guy here, then we put our kiln... I think if we put our kiln here, and for the fun of it, let's do 2. So we'll do 2, and then we need our smokestacks, 1 and 2. So that should produce plenty. This is the side that we need to put in limestone and coal. We currently aren't mining any limestone, which limestone's right here. So we can mine the limestone, sort it, and then bring it up to our kiln. So we're just going to need to have a place to store it. So if we did, I think actually limestone needs to be in one of these. So if we did a 2, so 1, and then let's just do, yeah, 1, 2, and then these can be limestone. So we'll put it in here, we'll grab it out of here, limestone, and then we will do, this guy will be coal. So we're going to need a lot more coal production, but this should be enough to suffice for what we need to bring over. But I'm also thinking, when I think, it's never a good thing. It honestly just usually equates to more finagling than anything productive. So oops, wrong button. So it's F. Come on, it's F. So if I do this actually, because if I'm wanting to put down, I don't care about having to put down 2 smokestacks. I should have them at the end. So then if I'm putting down my pipe for the water, I only need to do that. Yeah. So now this is going to allow me to have more. And if I want a third one, I can add a third kiln, which is perfectly fine. And then if I'm doing that, these don't need to be so far back. We could actually do... If I do loose storage, let's just say, instead of doing two on it, yeah, because you're gonna need to, they're gonna need to move out of the way, because they can't traverse that. They're gonna have to kind of jump it. So maybe if we did, I'm gonna need a lot more. You know what? Let's just do this. 1, 2, and then this one's going to be limestone. This one's going to be coal. I need a lot more. So this is at 98%. So we're consuming, we're kind of hitting that max point where we're going to be using too much. And also we want to take a look at our mechanical parts. How much are we consuming for mechanical parts, what we're making? So it looks like we're making 8. We're consuming 6. We're making like up and down 8. So I think that's okay. But we might want to have another one of these making another mechanical parts, just so we don't run out. This one's okay. But we are going to need more construction. So I wonder, can I trade for construction parts? I can trade my construction parts out, but I can't actually trade to get more. So what is kind of my bottleneck here? So I just think I have a lot of things on the go. I don't have a lot of construction assemblers. So maybe let's make 4 of those. And then let's also take a look. Let's take a look at our research here. So we're gonna get the captain's office, then synthetic. We're trying to get our concrete set up here to be operational. So this is gonna catch some water, which is good because it's raining currently. Start filling with water, please. Okay, perfect. That's gonna catch some water. This is going to give us diesel and pistons, which is great. Then we need that, which is diesel, and then we need concrete production. So establish limestone mine and start mining limestone. Build a kiln and connect it to a rain harvester using a pipe. So we're currently just trying to build the kiln. These guys currently, by the looks of it, they have no more trees to harvest. So let's tell them, harvest all those trees, please. Don't run out of things to do. Just keep harvesting trees. So they're going to keep harvesting those trees. We're going to keep putting them down here. We're kind of breaking even with our coal, which is fine. We just don't want to not break even. We're seeming to be going up with everything else. Our rubber's constantly going down, except for when we complete missions. We get a little bump, I guess you could say, a little bump in the boosting department for getting more coal. But we do want to, eventually we're going to want to have our kiln kind of in a different location, and we can probably just fill it up with iron. Where am I going with this? We're going to want to fill it up with iron, because if we have iron and they're not having to drag it all the way over here, I mean, they're stable, they're not really, it's not really like they're busy, but I think we could probably get some more faster molten iron, because right now I think this uses it all. And by the time the next shipment arrives, I wonder if they're like just barely cutting it by. with this delivery. It looks like it's going to be using it. They get another drop off. And then there's not enough input. So I don't think it's actually making... No, it should be making enough. But I just think it would be better to have it over here, and then they can pull the iron over this way once they have it. But we just need to make sure that we have more production for construction, because now this is kind of leveling out, but we still have more things that need to be built. We just currently just can't do anything. So another thing that needs to be built is this mining depot. The global demand is 57, so we could either double the throughput while consuming Unity. Also ignores electrical requirements, so we could use Unity, but I don't think that's a good idea. Or what we could do, and probably what we need to do, is build another maintenance depot alongside of it, which I think trucks can get in and out of a 1. Which actually, maybe let's just for the beautiful and the theatrics of it. Oh, wrong button. Wrong button. Let's flip it like that, and then I can't boost this. But hopefully once this one goes up, we can actually produce. So consumption, we're consuming 4, we're making 0. I don't want to run out. It's like such a scare factor right now. I just don't want to run out. Because if we run out, I am completely hooped, and I understand that. So yeah, these are going to be up and operational. This is limestone, this is coal. So we are going to need another control tower, which means we're going to need another excavator. I don't think I'm going to get more vehicles because I can probably just pump them out there. But we will need a mine control tower, which looks like it's going to cost. Obviously, everything's going to cost. We need that, and then we're also going to need a ore sorting, which we could probably, I think we could place it here. I don't want it to get in the way. We could even put it over here, but I think over here might be the best place actually. Let's do it. Let's do it right here. Let's edit the area. Let's drag it to be here. And then let's do mining operation. And let's see if we can go straight into the mountain. Like that. And then let's see if we can get rid of that, because I don't need to cut that off. Yeah, so let's see if we can do that. And then they can sort dirt. They can sort rock and limestone. I think that's the only thing that they're probably going to have to sort. So let's get that over there. That's going to be great. And then hopefully, good. Not good. Short term, we have a increase in construction parts, but not a big enough of increase for us. Oil, deposit, collect to basic distiller, using liquid dump, build liquid dump near the shore and enable the recipe to dump wastewater. So we can have it so we can dump wastewater, which is fine. We need to produce diesel. So I think that is going to wrap it up for this episode. We have a couple things that seem to be rolling quite swimmingly, but then there's also quite a lot of things that we need to ensure we're figuring out. We have 64 months left of food, totally enough food left. We are running out. We're running out of cinder blocks, but we are putting up our own towers, our own kilns. We just need to get some limestone done. Then we can make some of our own bricks, which we're using more than we're making. Then we need to get rubber, which should be pretty simple if we can set up our diesel, oil kind of location, which I'm going to try to squeeze in here, because I think we're going to decommission this, and we're going to put it up here. If we have it up in here, they're going to be making iron a lot quicker, like iron plates. And then if we only need iron plates, which, you know, these need concrete slabs, wood, and iron. We could set it up over here so that we have kind of a faster way to producing concrete construction slabs. Or not construction slabs, what are they called? Construction parts. So we can get this kind of surplus a little higher, because right now we're just tanked out at 0. And we don't have anything. We don't really have enough making right now, which is a problem. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a problem if we ran out of this, but it seems if we ran out of this, you kind of run into a problem where you need more. And to get more, you need to build more. It seems like it is a very slippery slope. If you kind of run out of production of something, you're running into a very, very slippery slope that might be a little bit difficult to get out of. Because like right now, look, we have 153, but I think these are just producing 2. So I wonder if I boost these. So if I boost it, I'm at a deficit of -3. So if I remove the boost, I should no longer be at a deficit of -3. But I'm still at a deficit. So it must be using it to get up. Yeah, okay, now I'm back to +3. So I'm thinking if I get these up and running, I'm going to be producing construction parts a lot quicker. So we should be fine. We just got to get this kiln up, which we should get that up pretty quick. And then we're going to build this up. And then everything's just going to kind of roll into its other, and it's just going to kind of restart. Because at least we're not hitting a point where we don't have enough maintenance in depots. Currently we're okay, but we want to make sure that we get more construction parts up so that we can build things a lot quicker. Which looks like we're starting to get to the point where these are building fast enough. I wish there was a way. General electric maintenance and utility consumption. So can we rate this higher on the importance scale? And then will they prioritize getting these 2 operational? Because it would be good to get these operational a little bit quicker than, say, something else. I mean, we can switch this over because this is full up. We could switch this one over temporarily to make construction parts if we're in a dire need. I don't think currently we're in a dire need because we're still okay on a lot of other stuff. This is going down, but that's because we just made another excavator. So we need this to get up before we can actually use it. Because right now it's not built, so it has nowhere to actually mine. Which it should say mining control towers, no available destination to be mined in its area. That could also be because of this. So maybe let's make sure it's, yeah. So I don't think it was flat enough. It's actually kind of weird that you don't have to, wait, do I not have to build the tower to use the tower? Surely you have to build the tower to use the tower. Yeah. Okay, all right. Anyways, I said this was the end of the episode, and then we kind of kept going on. But at least we're kind of stable on most of our stuff. We're looking at a little bit of a downhill, slippery slope for some of them. Like our crude oil, we're at 160, which is good. But some of our stuff, yeah, we're on a bit of a slippery slope here. And we want to make sure that we're not going to continue on a slippery slope, which it actually looks like. What's your thing filling up with? 12. So we're currently, it looks like currently we're actually just digging into, we're just not digging into pay dirt here. So, sorry. Last thing before we get done the episode here. Don't want to go down. We want to stay flat. Because we're actually, doesn't look like we're actually harvesting any pay dirt here. Just looks like we're harvesting more dirt than anything. Yeah, so we're going to want to harvest some actual pay dirt. Yeah, we'll do something like that. And then I think that's going to be a little bit better for us to actually get more iron than than anything else. Now, what are you guys waiting for? Where are your assigned trucks? It looks like they were getting gasoline. So, okay. That's going to wrap it up for this first episode of Captain of Industry. I'm having fun with the game. It honestly is. It's quite a good amount of fun. Hopefully we can kind of figure out this juggling balance act, and we don't go under again on the 4th episode. I mean, it doesn't take long really to get a slippery slope in this game. Like you hit that slippery slope, and you're just on a downhill trajectory. You just keep skidding. And right now our biggest problem is our construction parts, because we really need to get these other construction parts up and operational. We have crude oil, we just don't have enough for the piping, and I'm trying to prioritize some other stuff before we move on to that, because we still have so much gas left that it's not a concern. It's just more of a concern we have is making sure that we're not going to go under because we don't have certain pieces and parts that we need. So anyways, if you like the episode, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm probably going to have to turn off those refugees because they just keep coming and eating my food, and we're at a surplus. Let's turn you guys off. Pause that. But until next time, guys, my name is Brave. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.